Hi, my name is Epic Butter. I'm one of the top ranked players in SoulStrike, and I'm here to talk to you today about the recent update for SoulStrike with the ELECEED collaboration. So, the ELECEED collaboration came in, and we've got a few things going on. We've got the roadmap, and I'll go through this in a second. We got the roadmap. We have two contest events, which is basically summoning, leveling. This one in particular is it says progress race, but it looks like this one's for the allies. And yeah, you play Tower of Trials. You level up the allies. You use ether. You summon. You can break. Yeah, you summon soul parts, and then I think another one was where you break soul parts, and I think that's probably this one. Yeah, you scrap parts on this one, and this one is the relic and the skill. So let's get right into it. Oh, and there's also a 14-day roadmap, so lots of goodies. Pretty decent overall, I would say. Unfortunately, there's no dungeon or thing that we farm. There's not really a super big way to interact with it other than just collecting stuff. So there's that. They also added a new thing, which is kind of new, is their own roulette ticket system. And this is kind of nice because you just kind of RNG your way into collaboration points or more roadmap material. And this one's like a premium ticket. So on the premium side, they have treasures, the relic. They just amp it up even more. So RNG, encourage you to play. I think that's fine. That's pretty good stuff. So let's just go ahead and talk about the specific stuff for the collaboration. So the skill, Grand Cross, is a wind skill, and what I noticed initially was really this number. It's a pretty big number. So if you look at like another skill, recently I started another account to just try to understand the onboarding for a player, and what I noticed was there was a massive difference between the power level on like a normal skill. Like this is the one that you get for spending any money. So if I did the ad free on that other account so that I just don't have to watch ads, this is 9,000. While Grand Cross, absolutely massive. You know, uh 100 so it is quite a bit stronger than any current, normal skill. So Grand Cross, if you're a brand new player, this will totally serve you well. And you can see as you just dial it up, it gets bigger and bigger, and it's absolutely part of the win build. It's pretty much a great skill for that. Now it deals damage to electrocuted. So, and I don't know if it says it electrocutes itself. I'm not sure. Although it has a prefix, it doesn't say it electrocutes. What we do see though is that it lowers defense, which is something that we're constantly looking for, lowering defense or lowering elemental resistance. But that 200% damage to more electrocuted, that's really great. Some things that give electrocuted, Thunder Fury, Axorm, there's lots of ways. So I'm not terribly concerned about getting the debuff. This thing will just do a lot of damage. Now to talk about the record of the incomplete awakener, that's kind of funny. Early leaks had this as defense down. However, this ended up being skill cooldown. Now, this skill cooldown stat is a flat minus 20%, not like whatever you have and then subtract 20%. So for people that don't have that skill cooldown line and are kind of being cute and using all the other ways to try to reach the maximum cooldown, this just obliterates them. However, what is really great about this is that it increases everything without having like a roulette system, kind of like Flask. So for me, it replaced the old collaboration item, but I think some people said it can replace the white feather fan. I currently replaced it with the Flask. That's just what I'm doing. I would recommend play around. It could vary a little bit depending on what you have going on, but really, I would say try to have it's probably worth it to use. Get as many copies as you can and have fun. And what's nice is now that we have the new relic material, we don't have to summon and level with the same material. We could just focus on leveling. Now, the collaboration allies, we've got three. And it's interesting is the banner, they have two here and one here. So what I've seen is for Jiwoo, he is so he actually class electrocute. he has a huge number as well. He, I think, is interestingly a yes for wind. He's he's actually really great, and I've seen him kind of measure up to Delia Transcended, so that's really great. Uh, Ji Young, I actually haven't seen, and I don't know if that's because of lack of space or lack of something else, but I haven't actually seen her in action. I'm not entirely sure. I would imagine she's probably fine in a GVG setting because it does look like what she does is some sort of AoE effect, and we could put her on in a second and just get some image. Now, Gisela? I don't know how to say it. Gisela, she is going to be, I think, the Alice replacement. And what I mean by that is we use Alice in GBG because of her wide area effect. Now, here, what I've seen with the Mist of Death and the Fortify, and this is a unique effect to her, but the fortify effect makes it so that you can't be stunned, you can't be frozen. This is really deadly in PvP. So she's probably already making her way there. And her shiver effect, it looks like it damages every 0.25 seconds for 6 seconds, every 15. So I think in a orb situation, like you have orb of wishes going on with enchant, you could absolutely use this to cover the field, and it's just another one of those big area of effect things. So I'll probably try to go for her when I'm ready. Oh, and I didn't talk about the pets. Let's talk about the pets. Pets are fun. So here we have the Wind Pet. It's a buffed up version of the humanoid pet, so the Guardian Pet. So it's absolutely worth using over it. It's just a buffed up version. It's fine, and I think this is the physical equivalent. Interestingly, it's physical boost here. Let's see, increased physical damage, physical res pen. So it's not quite. Oh wait, yeah, no, it's. So let me see. Yeah, physical damage or C, physical crit, physical boost, and this one is similar. And I don't have them at A8, mainly because I've been spending my keys on something else, which we'll talk about in a second. But yeah, these are the buffed up version of the humanoid pet, usually element boost or crit, but it depends on your use case. So anyway, so that's kind of the pets in a nutshell. They're fun, they're fine, they're strong. If you're wind, you want the wind one. If you're physical, you want the physical. They do have a collection, an attack collection. So you do want to grab those if you have fear of missing out. But the thing is that like collections, they're getting so massive now that really, when you talk about it and we're looking at attack, what's another 80% on, 3,000? It's one of those things where yes, cumulatively it adds up. Okay, so we talked about the allies, we talked about the skill, we talked about the relic, we talked about everything. I think what I wanted to do was just show off a little bit of the ally and the ones I'm excited about. So I'm excited about her. Hopefully, I can get her to release her skill, and there it is. There, that skill. Oh, yeah, that's going to be great for GVG. Oh, that's so cool. And then let's see, Ji Young. Curious to see if she's like a AoE. Kinda. Oh, okay, okay. I was not expecting that. That's actually pretty sweet. Look at that. So yeah, in a tight quarters, fast situation, I think that keeps going. So that might be really sweet. Yeah. So it detonates. Let's see if there's any more impact. Let's see. So explores one more time. So that's her detonation. Detonates twice every 10 seconds and deals 400%. So I guess it just does more damage. So it's probably not as good as the area of effect, but this is absolutely pretty good. It's just pretty fun to look at. And then now Jiwoo, um, he I think is like a one punch man. He just kind of goes and then he has a big hit. So I'm gonna go ahead and let me give you an attack stance. See if we can get a visual of him. Yeah, that's pretty much him, but he does a ton of damage. It's pretty fun. Yeah, so mine's not fully leveled. I know wind builds are using it though. Oh, how fun. Yeah, now I actually have, some plans. Okay, now I really wanna talk about the other part of this. Oh, yeah, so instead of, like, the normal collab shop or where you could buy whatever stuff you wanted, they actually kinda changed it up, so it's now, like, whatever you spend, you get at, currency. So before it was like you had to buy specific packages to get the currency. Now it's any package, mileage towards the event. Anything spent will go towards the event. So that's kind of a little bonus. So talking about the event and the redemption, I would say looking at the shop, you can see what I already went for. Fifth elements, of course, but that's if you're spending. I like Prism Stones right now because they're really hard to get. They did the same thing again where you can buy some of the treasure upgrade resources. And then I found that I would say some people probably going for Void Legacies because they're kind of needed. I wouldn't go for any of these. I think these are actually here for new players. New players absolutely probably get pretty immediate day one benefit from it if you're like playing within the first week. Other than that, yeah, I would just get Cuppy of each. Go for some of these. These are fairly underpriced. If the best value would be the relic ones, of course, because relics are more expensive. And of course, these are always in high demand. So, if you're spending, probably the fifth element and the prism stones and the soul chalice, this right here are the most important. Soul chalice, they made a lot cheaper, so they're much more common. However, um, you know, you're gonna need a certain amount of them. So that's kind of the mileage event here. And that's my recommendation. Just go for the things that help you in your BT. There's two new features in the game that kind of completely overshadowed everybody's attention for the last few days, and that's why it's been like, oh yeah, we also have a we also have collaboration to talk about. The big thing lately, and I'm just putting my stuff back, has been the big thing lately has been all about monster cards. And monster cards are a brand new thing they just added, and they are something else. Basically, everybody's power level flew off the roof. Everybody got 10 times stronger. People that were 200J got 5x the strength. And I'm going to go through and talk a little bit about just how that happened. But let's talk about the guide. The guide is something that is super helpful and it kind of kicks in a little bit before the old missions disappear. Um, and they are fantastic, but they kind of really they give you a lot of value and they're really great for on-ramping new players. And what I'm finding myself is right now it's just been really difficult for me to just do stuff without checking like, oh, am I waiting on a on a on a thing. So like this one, earn treasure chest. It's like, okay, if I don't see it on the page, I don't maybe I want to see if I could proceed more. So it's really, really a ton of value. As you can see, the higher levels, I'm already waiting on some soul shards. There's high amount of ether in here, a lot of mythicals. Really, really, really great stuff. So I think over here you can see here's 50 of the jewels here, another 40 here, like 100 jewels. There's just tons and tons of stuff. So it's great, great. I mean, it's great because it's free. It's just stuff that you should be doing anyway. But what's really nice is for a lot of players, this gave them a lot of like immediate value and a lot of construction. They gave you a lot of material for even just progressing further. So this was a really a good answer for all that stuff. For like trying to help you round out the game in terms of like in-game support. Interestingly enough, it's not in like these missions and the achievements. It's actually outside of that. So, interestingly. So that was a huge update. I don't think there's anybody that dislikes this or I've heard any negative comments about. So generally, great job. So that's guide. Now the new thing that is super powerful that has overshadowed everything else is something called monster summits. Now, what this is, and there was a little bit of controversy with this. The achievement broke, so they turned it off for a while. But what you do here is you summon these cards, right? And here's a 30 summon. Some of these cards and you go to your monster card, and then you synthesize them, and they kind of work like class. So you can, when you level them up, their unique effects get stronger, and when you equip them, you get this effect. So if I had this one on, you get more final damage. So yeah, and as the you go down, they're bigger and better. Um, so until just like class, you go all the way down, and then you have the last one where you can upgrade. And when you upgrade, you can you'll get a random SSS card, and these SSS cards are absolutely powerful. They're off the wall. So we're gonna go ahead and upgrade one. Hopefully, I get something new. I didn't because I didn't get that cool animation. But that does mean I get a star too, so we're pretty lucky in that sense. But Awaken luckily doesn't take any material; it's just 2 copies. So now the equip effect: wind skill damage by 800, wind res pen by 400. So if I was a wind build, this would absolutely be amazing. However, I'm not wind built, but it's okay. This is going to be a long term kind of build. Some special ones to talk about. You'll notice that these may look familiar. Lacus, Crux, and Behemoth. Gigantic creature is not one of them. He just looks like Crux, or he looks like Behemoth. But these are the field boss ones, and the field boss ones will show up when you do a field boss, and they have a low percent to drop. And if you get it, you get it. They're pretty great. Otherwise, some other notable ones are the nightmare bosses. Oberyn increases mana points, and Vlad increases move speed. Now, the amount that it increases absolutely bonkers. So, my move speed, I think, was around 1C. It went from 1C to around 9C. So, absolutely pushing up my crit damage and my attack. So, for me, Vlad is amazing, but interestingly enough, I'm looking at Oberyn, and if I equip Oberyn, you'll see something interesting here is, of course, and I think that was gotta. I don't know if that's because I don't have the right food on. Interesting. So that matters too. Let's take a look. Let's get the right food on. Let's see what happens. No? Interesting. Q even lower. Anyway, you see that's 1C, but you see my MP go from I think it was much lower, but you get a much higher MP score. In any case, that's the monster cards. They're really powerful. What I found so far though is for me, Oberyn and Vlad are about the same. Some people mentioned that it could be because there's a level difference. However, the unique effect is supposed to stay active no matter what. So that shouldn't really change much. So these two have been about the same. I've also noticed that, and by the way, late Dragon Lizard also has a massive MP bonus, so he's going to be great in things like Purification Battle. At 600 MP, that's really great for Chronos players. For everyone else, though, I would say Frost Butterfly Queen. She was doing wonders for me as well. About almost or just slightly under Vlad, and they have a lot of these great effects. Like one of the ones I really want to see is this one: final damage and MP cost by 100%, but skill damage by 800%. Like that makes your, I think that's one of the highest multiples I've seen in the game in out of these. So absolutely great. Yeah, increased final damage. Yeah, this one's really great. Soul Burner. This one is okay. I think it depends on if you can leverage it. All element boosts, not really super useful. Twin-headed lizard. This one, unfortunately, ally damage is not in build. So for under the effects of yin yang, this won't be super impactful until you get uh, a 2-star. Black Dragon, absolutely going to be ridiculous because crit rate does. We don't get a lot of opportunities to multiply crit rate, so this is one of them. And that's also one of the reasons why the Frost Lady was so strong. And I think they're very similar. I don't quite know that. Oh, this one has a different unique effect. Well, this one has crit damage efficacy boost. So this one arguably is probably better. The Black Dragon, of course. So the Soul Ruler. Some people are testing around with the Element ones, and they are fantastic for the Element build that you have. So for me, well, if I get Venom and Spider Queen, or if I get, I think once I get higher levels of of the element ones. We'll be able to tell, but right now they seem to kind of be fairly similar. No, this one's kind of funny. It's like a throwback to the old stuff, but but poisoned is absolutely garbage. Nobody really uses poison, so that's unfortunate. I'm trying to find the other Earth one if I can. Earth pen. See, I don't like those unique effects though. Give me Earth. Yeah, no, I think that's it. Oh, I'm not a big fan. This is why I always complain about Earth. But anyway, um, so general if the achievement was working, what happens is that as you summon, and just doing the basic summon will give you enough for 3 chimeras, which are these guys, and a flask, and you were getting these randomly, and like any one of these will boost your will just make you stronger just by the nature of the unique effect. Like don't even like if you don't land on one that you can use, you're still getting stronger. You're just not getting as much strength. But in any case, like, if you land on anyone that you could use on star 1, like or first on level 1, they're absolutely great. Now, that being said, the one that kinda sucks here is actually the Tengu. It's like, this is the one that people will be hunting, and they'll inadvertently get this because 'cause they're stigma hunting, and, "Oh, cool, they'll get 3,000 more ACC." That's, I guess, okay. If I think it's in a separate category, so if it still gets multiplied by your Hawkeye and stuff, then I can see it has more value, but yeah, like, it's not really gonna be super great until you have, you know, until you get 2 of them. And the unfortunate part about these is that they share the same, drop rate as the gear does. So, it's gonna be harder to find a gear, like, just naturally find a gear from these guys, and because they share a slot, every time you see a gear, I'm just thinking in my head, "Oh, that could have been a card because I want cards now, I don't want gear, I want cards." So, yeah, that's kinda these right now, and the dungeon is kinda unique, it's kinda different. So, it's this dungeon right here, it's the Dimension Gate. This is used to this is used to level, this is used to summon, yes. And, yeah, I showed off summoning a little bit earlier. So this is the Dimension Gate, and what's unique about this, and yeah, people are just farming the crap out of it, is, you want to go in there and you have to have all 5 elements, and that's how you're gonna do damage. For me, that's how, you're gonna want to proceed. You're gonna wanna build that can use all 5 elements. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and run it. Yeah, I got a little confused because I realized I'm on a different device. The presets don't save, but it's on for me, it's on preset 2. Just now, changed it to all my frogs. Each frog, the collaboration frogs are one of each, so we shall see. And of course, yeah, if you ever want to get out of a sticky situation, you can always just jump to hard, and you're safe. So anyway, let's go ahead. We'll run the dungeon. Reset 2 just to give you a look see. Yeah, so what you'll see is that like you won't actually if you don't have the right element, you actually won't do any damage to it. So this one is water, so we're waiting for my Taimama to hit. This one is physical, so we're going to wait for the physical one, which I forget. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. I see that they're like queue, so I think they're supposed to have fairly easy entry, but I'm not actually sure. I see that because I think you still need to be fair, like conqueror or mid. Well, actually, I could double check. You need to be. Oh, actually, I can't shut that VM off. Yeah, it's one of the later things to unlock, so because of how powerful it is. So, yeah, it's one of those, you wanna do as much of this, everyone's select keys, not to be confused with there's 2 select keys. One of them has dream keys, one of them does not. The ones that have dream keys, you just wanna use them for dream keys. Doing nightmare and getting dream and nightmare keys are gonna be really essential for those nightmare cards, while for all the other ones, you wanna use the normal select keys. So yeah, the dungeon key select, these are the ones you want to use for Dimension Gate, and then the what are they called? The key for all you want to use for Dream. So yeah, Dream. And that's what you want to do. And yeah, you just the reason why you want to run this as much as possible is really the number one, the achievements and these absolutely give you a lot. Each level you get a chimera or you get something, And once the achievements come back, you're gonna be super happy that your level is up there. But essentially, once you're up here, like your goal is to really just keep trying to get as many monster cards as you can until you start filling up. And really, you don't have a lot of material to level up with, right? So you see that the only way to get it right now is really through these extra keys. So that's just kind of how that works. So yeah, these last 2 kind of things have completely overshadowed the, collaboration event for me. This is way bigger. The impact is way bigger. It's actually kinda even hard to tell, like, people are asking me, "Hey, how's the new skill? How's the new relic?" And I'm like, "I have no idea," because like, comparative power before and after monster cards is so drastic. It's like yeah, I don't know if it made a difference because these cards are so freaking powerful. So I think next time I would hope that they don't like something like this we could have totally used at the 1.5 year anniversary and not at like the um not at the uh like in the middle of a collab. That so like I think timing wise um they could have done that. And Magic the Gathering has something called the Future League. I hope that they do something like that for Soul Strike so we could help out with planning and timeline because like there are so many little things that could have done a little differently that would have made everyone just so much happier. One of them being like right now they gave us the left right event, and in the left right event you can get a lot of select tickets or select keys, and that's plays right into this. So yeah, it's just my 2 cents. Just some feedback for the is like future league. Let us help you uh figure out like what's good and when to do things because we all of us were kind of like oh there's not much to do during the half year collaboration because it was just like another it was like a roadmap with transcendence, but this is so different. So different. Ooh, the legendary select chest. I've been curious to see what's in here. Legendary select. Weak. Yeah, so the only thing you really want here is fifth element. You don't want anything else. You just want fifth element. That's funny though. Yeah, so I was hoping they would have refinement stuff. I was hoping that they would have there's so many other things they could have put in there, but you know what? It is what it is. It's fine. Um, yeah. All right. So that's the update. That's the collab. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, comment and subscribe and tell me more. Tell me what you want to see. I started another account just to kind of see like how onboarding is, and I gotta say it's a lot better than before. If you are someone who is here trying to check out the LSE collaboration and you're worried that you won't be able to get the units, no, you absolutely like day one, I was getting the units and I was playing with them. And I'll probably follow up with a clip of that in a bit. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful night. It's always a pleasure.